Hello there. I've been asked to come and talk to you about things we do here and show you around. Well, welcome. It's nice to see you all. I hope you all got here safely. And well, yeah, this is Youth Reach. Sorry you're all a bit squished in. It's quite a small space, but trust me, we do big things out of here. I think the best way to explain about what we do here is to tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Stacey. I'm 18. Oh, God, should have probably said that first, shouldn't I? Anyway, I'm Stacey. Hi. I work here now, and believe it or not, that's still quite a massive thing for me to say. We basically work with young people, and by that I mean we give young runaways a place where they can feel safe and feel at home and where they're surrounded by professional people. And it's weird to think that now I'm one of those people. I mean, not professional. Well, not yet. Hopefully one day. Oh dear, I'm not doing a very good job of this, am I? You see, I was a young runaway too. I left home, well, ran away from home, when I was 16. I suppose it's a big decision, really. I mean, to decide that you were better off on the streets than living at home, but things really were that bad. And I wasn't getting on with my parents. You don't need to know all that, but basically, they ended up forcing me to leave. And so we just went. Me and my partner just went, and initially it was a huge relief. But then the reality of what we'd just done smacked us in the face. I mean, where would we go for help? Would anyone listen? Would anyone care anyway? We were on the streets for about 6 months, and things went from bad to worse. We stopped going to college. We only had one set of clothes, and we smelled so bad. So we just stopped going, and our entire lives became fixed around finding somewhere at least dry to sleep for the night. Danger never even entered our heads. And during the day, we'd try and find help, but it wasn't easy. Connections sent us to housing, housing sent us to connections. The job centre wouldn't even talk to us until we had some way forward, and the council were no help, just sent us back to the places we'd already started at. It was like a nightmare. I felt like I was stuck in a big pinball machine, being bounced a different way each time we were hit. Anyway, after about 6 months, we found this building to sleep in, and it caught fire. It sounds so stupid to say, but looking back, we were lucky to be in that fire. If not, we'd probably still be on the streets now. The police that pulled us out had links with this place, Youth Reach, and it turns out they were looking for us anyway. You won't believe how much our lives changed from that point on, and so quickly. And we filled in a CAF form and identified all the things we needed, and the team here arranged a team around the child meeting. It all sounded so scary, but we felt really in control and involved in the process. And it was so funny because all the agencies we'd been bounced around by were finally sat around one table, talking to each other and communicating and coming up with joint solutions. From the meeting, everyone had actions and we were sent to be housed. And Connections sorted out some employment for us and we could go back to college. We even got lessons in budgeting and stuff like that, so we could meet our rent and bills and needs and stuff. And the best part was this became like a second home. We could call in whenever we wanted, if it was just to ask a question or ask for help, or even if it was just to chat to someone. And you knew that when you came in, good things would happen. You just had to walk through one door to open a whole load of others. So it's all good. Now I'm 2 years on, I work here, and things have changed a lot in this area. People talk to each other. And I really hope that no one would get passed from agency to agency without knowing that the same people everywhere are asking for help. I don't know much yet, but you always hear people talking about sharing information, more so because now I work here, but also because I've been on the receiving end of the service and I know how important sharing information is. It's all moved on for me. Like I say, I'm 18, living on my own, and working here. I feel like I've come in a complete circle and I can help people like I was. You'd be amazed how many me's walk through the door. I don't think there'll come a time when I won't need this place, but I bet the managers hope there will come a time. I don't have much contact with my own family, but I'm not bothered because this is like a family. And I'm lucky because I've chosen my family and I've chosen my home. And this is a home I won't be running away from. So it's all good. Oh, anyway, I've probably taken up of you enough time now and I'm sure you'll want to be talking to someone else. All right, enjoy your stay and I'll be just over there if you need to chat about anything. All right, see ya.
I met Stacey about 1.5 years ago now, and she was working at Youth Reach. Youth Reach is in Derbyshire, and it's a voluntary sector organisation. It used to be an NCH, so now it's an Action for Children. But it was at the forefront of developing integrated services in Derbyshire, a voluntary organisation with real close links to the police force. And those two agencies was kind of at the forefront of pushing everything forward in Derbyshire, and really led by the most amazing managers and leaders that you've seen. And I talked to him an awful lot, and he comes to do an awful lot of motivational speaking for us, and kind of highlights the importance to us of how important it is to have those motivational, open-minded managers to lead these services. The story is absolutely true. She was on the streets for 6 months. She was in a really difficult time of her life in that she was 16, and the services a couple of years ago in Derbyshire were having real issues with what a child was, what an adult was, where that threshold was, and which agency was supposed to deal with the 16 to 19-year-olds. And for that reason, she was bounced from place to place, and every day was told, you know, you're not supposed to be here, you need to go to housing, you need to go here, you need to go there. And only when the police finally pulled her out of that building did they manage to get everybody sitting down together. She now works for Youth Reach. She's doing really, really well. And you can actually see the real Stacey in the Sharing the Journey DVD. This is a quote that she actually said about information sharing. It's in the front of the information sharing guidance, which is brand new from the DCSF, and I think it's here. I would really urge you to read it. It's actually really clear and it's really precise, and for once it makes a lot of sense. It's not very pretty, but it's really, really good. And there's a pocket guide as well, which, you know, just gives you the top tips for information sharing. And obviously, this quote pretty much sums it all up from the mouths of a 16-year-old at the time. She is doing really well, as I said, and there is Sharing the Journey, which is available from the website if you need some more copies. The one thing I will say is that CWDC Share has been running for 2 years, and we ask for innovative programs, projects from any organisation, whether that be private, statutory, voluntary, whatever. We have never had a London project bid. And I would urge you to have a look at their website. There's £10,000 for the project. We give you that funding. And all we ask for that is you share your story with us. And you share your story with us in the magazine, on the DVD. And we profile your project, basically. That project can be anything at all, as long as it's integrated working. And this year, around workforce reform as well. So I'm sure you will either have fantastic projects of your own or know people that do have fantastic projects, and the tender is out right now for the next 5 weeks. So have a look. Thank you very much for having us here today. We've really enjoyed ourselves, and hopefully we'll see you soon.